Want the exact framework I use to help clients build a daily sales engine that doesn't rely on unpredictable algorithms? That's exactly what I want to share with you inside today's video. And hey, if we haven't met, I'm Lise, founder of Hustle and Groove, and I work with amazing creative entrepreneurs and helping them generate daily sales using what I call the daily sales ecosystem. And that's exactly what I want to walk you through today. But first, a little background as to how this actually evolved. So, back in 2020, when the world was going slightly crazy, I discovered something called human design. Now, I'm not going to go too much into all the nitty gritty of that. If you want to learn about human design, or if you want to learn about human design from a business perspective, then the link in the description will take you to learn all about that. But what it allowed me to do was to zone in and focus on the things that are easy and fun for me. And when I started implementing that into my business and just focusing on the things that are easy and fun for me, I started to see a pattern, which, as it turns out, is actually part of my human design personality, right? The way that I approach things, the way that I do things in business, I have this innate ability to identify patterns. And once I learned what those were, I was like, okay, I just need to dial that in. And then I had lots of people in my world. So, people who were already in my community, people who were already in my membership, asking me, hey, Lise, how are you doing what you're doing? And that evolved into what I call the daily sales ecosystem, which is also backed by my daily cash flow checklist. So essentially, the daily sales ecosystem has three core areas: grow your audience and offers, nurture your audience, sell to your audience every single day, right? So, in order to make daily sales, there are things that you need to do every single day for that to actually happen. So, the daily sales ecosystem is the overarching system. And then the daily cash flow checklist are those easy and fun things that I do every single day. So, I'm going to walk you through all the different components of those three core areas, and so that you can start to figure out what that might look like for you. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you what to do in your business. I essentially am the person who can guide you based on your unique gifts, strengths, and talents, right? That's your personality, the way that you want to show up in your business, the way that you want to run your business, all doable. We just need to figure out what the mechanics, the tactics, the strategies are that are best aligned for you. And that's exactly what the daily sales ecosystem helps you figure out. Now, the other layer to all of this is that I personally am not active on social media. Now, I have a presence, right? I have a LinkedIn profile, I have a Facebook page, and I have an Instagram profile, but I'm not actively posting on those. In fact, if you go and look at my Instagram profile, you'll see it's static. With my Facebook page, yes, it looks like I'm posting on there, but that is literally just sharing my blog posts and my YouTube content. That is all automated. And the same goes for LinkedIn. It is just all automated. Now, the reason why I'm not on social media is that I personally, from a nervous system perspective and from a mental perspective, don't want to spend time there. That's not where I want to be doing the things. Now, yes, you can create your own news feed, you can pick and choose what you pay attention to, but I know myself, and because I have an open head center from a human design perspective, I know that I need to limit the type of stuff that comes into my Facebook feed, my Instagram, all of those things. So I typically, when I'm working with people, help people do that too. Help them get off social media and figure out, what does visibility look like if you're not doing social media. So that's what I'm going to focus on with the daily sales ecosystem framework, is what it looks like when you aren't using social media. So if social media is totally your jam, absolutely fine. I'm probably not the person for you. So you might want to pause this video and head off somewhere else. But if you want to learn how to be visible without social media, then stick around because we're going to dive into all that now. Okay, so the first part of the daily sales ecosystem is all about growth. Now, this is definitely something that you want to be doing every single day from an audience perspective. So you want to grow your audience every day in whatever way that works for you. I personally focus on collaboration. So you probably already know what those are. That are summits, bundles, giveaways, podcast, PR, whatever, right? Grow your audience every single day. Now, you can amplify that by running paid lead gen ads. But honestly, if you dial in and focus in on doing more of the collaborative stuff and you do that quite consistently, then you don't need to run ads. But if you're just kind of starting out, then running paid lead gen ads is a good option if you want to get your email list started really quickly, or you just want a hit of brand new people into your world. So I will often run lead generation ads for 30 days prior to a brand new offer coming out so that I get a big influx of people. And that normally means I'm spending 300 to 500 in that period of time. Don't need to spend any more than that. So just so you've got a clear understanding of what that looks like. Otherwise, for the most part, I zone in on collaborations, but good strategic collaborations, right? I want to make sure that I'm getting the most bang for my time investment. So that means that I'm very picky about the bundles that I participate in, and I'm very picky about the summits that I speak at. And I have pivoted my collaboration strategy a little bit to be much more focused on summit and podcast opportunities, because I know that if people hear me speak, I've got a much higher conversion rate than if I just participate in a bundle or a giveaway where they're not going to know me from a bar of soap, right? So that is me zoning in on what is easy and fun for me. And you will figure out what that looks like for you as well. So that's growing your audience. Definitely want to do that every single day. And then the other mix of that is growing your offers. And we grow our offers based on what we want to share with our audience, but also what our audience needs and wants, right? We always have to meet our audience where we're at. So we have a process of doing that. And that's really just about thinking through what are easy yes offers and then figuring out what your offer suite is. And you can do that from a multitude of ways. You can be multi-passionate and have loads of different things, which is what I have, or you can really zone in on one thing and then you really just have 3 or 4 core things that you sell. Again, it's all about what is easy and fun for you. So then the next part of the daily sales ecosystem is the nurture your audience. Now we do that through a couple of different ways. We want to make sure that with our email list that we're building, that we're constantly nurturing and selling. So there is a nurture and sell framework that we go through that ensures that you're always talking to your audience, providing value, but you're always selling as well. Now, always selling doesn't mean that every single email that you're sending has got like this hard pitch in it. It's very much a kind of offhand way of making sure that people are aware that you have something to sell, because you absolutely do. So we use the nurture and sell framework in our emails, and however many emails you're sending, that's entirely up to you. Then we also build out our discoverable content, and that is using a long form platform. So that could be a blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel. Those are the 3 core pieces, and you only have to do one. You don't have to do all 3. And it's very much about reverse engineering from your offers to create that content. So we're not creating content just for the sake of creating content. We bake in some very simple search engine optimization and we make sure it points to our offers. Discoverable content is the key to ensuring that you're always nurturing. And then your discoverable content is how you can also generate the emails that go out to your amazing people. So that is essentially the nurture component. So then finally, we have the sell component. Now, this is where we ensure that we are selling every single day. Now, we already touched on the nurture and sell framework, which we will 100% dial in. But then we also want to make sure that we've got some automated systems in place. Personally, for me, that means I have a number of different evergreen and ever selling email funnels in my email system, but I'm also making sure that I'm dialing in my entire daily sales ecosystem and making sure that I've optimized my discoverable content. Basically, it's this beautiful circle of it's just always spinning. We're always pointing people to discoverable content, back into your email, back into an offer, and it just continues to circle and cycle all the time. The other piece of the sell is making sure that we've got income amplifiers in place so that when someone is buying from us, we can increase the point of sale so that we're presenting more opportunities for people to buy from us. So, income amplifiers are things like an order bump on a checkout page, it could be a tripwire after someone gets your free thing. It could be an upsell. It could be a downsell. It could be making sure that every single email that goes out brings people into a specific funnel. There is so many different ways to amplify your income. And that's what we do in the selling phase. We've got some automations in place, we've got some funnels, but ultimately we are presenting the opportunity for people to buy from us every single day. Now, you'll notice that I didn't say anything about convincing people to buy because that's not what we're here to do. We're simply here to present, make sure our messaging is dialed in, that we're speaking to our ready to buy customers, and then we just rinse and repeat this through our own daily cash flow checklist. So, by doing all of this, this is how I'm able to make daily sales. Now, if you want to look at my daily cash flow checklist, comment checklist in the comment section below, and I will get that into your hot little hands. It's where I break down all the different activities that are on my daily cash flow checklist. So you've got a behind the scenes look at why I have the things that I have. And if you want to set up your own daily sales ecosystem, you can learn more about that in the description link below. And in the video that is coming up on your screen right now, I'm going to be sharing with you your 90-day blueprint to getting daily sales and complete social media freedom. I'll see you in that video.